ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow! Yeah, you better believe it. Basil said, meow, 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 paw, paw, meow, meow. Said, yeah, first of all, he said, where's my paw? Well, my IPAW. You know what? I don't know. I haven't found it. So I guess you still need an interpreter, co-host, interpreter, and chief gopher until we can locate that IPAW. So hold on. Okay. So yeah, he asked me. He said, "You look tired." I said, "Yeah, of course I look tired. You know, I've been up since we went off the air, since we finished up the show Friday evening." And wait a second. He said, he said, try the do the red 8 on the 8 on the 9. He said. So, but the point of this game is that you can try the 8 on the 9, and if it doesn't seem to be the best move, let's try it. Okay, we get a jack, but if we go the 10 on the 9, we get a queen, and the queen works a little bit better sandwiched in between. We got 3 kings showing, and we got to get rid of 2 of those kings at least at once. So we got to get 3 kings out of there fairly quickly. So, in answer to your question, yeah, I've been up Sunday morning, and I've been up since Friday night playing this dorky game. Where's your? Playing this dorky game. Hold on. Okay. No, it doesn't bother his ear. He does his Pilates. He's that ear's pretty sturdy, and besides, it's backed up with a layer of cardboard. So maybe it'd be better if I put the recording, the microphone. Hold on. Oh, that's. Ear is a little bit apparently befuddled. Okay, there. I put it up on the tip of the feather. It's his. That's a peacock feather, by the way. It's he's got his iridescent peacock feathers, but he's gone wants to go plain today. So he's got the just the one feather that's the underlayment feathers, the feathers that hold up the iridescent feathers. And yeah, I'm tired. So, wait a second. We still have Chief Justice John Roberts. Yeah. He's been on the phone. He never hung up from Friday night. Says he's been he's been playing solitaire in one form or another ever since Friday night too. So all overnight Friday night, all day Saturday, all Saturday night, and into Sunday morning. And he says it helps him decide how he's going to says if the game ends on a face card, he listens to Anthony Kennedy, and if it ends up on a number card, he listens to well, he can't listen to Mum, Clarence Thomas. Although Clarence Thomas has been speaking up lately. It's he went many years as the Supreme Court justice that everybody figured was related to Marcel Marceau, because he never said anything, and never, actually, for that matter, never wrote any opinions, and he's been speaking up a little bit lately, and been putting his thoughts out there. It might be written by his wife. His wife is actually, and she's a lobbyist for a libertarian group. So that's where he gets his marching orders from. But so here's the thing. So we've been up, and John Roberts' cat is still here. Excellent. Yep, I can tell by the Nick Deer. Okay. I don't remember his name. What's his name? Basil said, don't know. Says, don't know, still don't know. And that doesn't mean his name is Dunno. Okay. So you don't sound very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed either, and obviously I'm not, because I've been catnapping for a few minutes here and there since Friday night, and playing this. What? Basil said. Said flip a card. Okay, Queen. There you go, Queen. Okay, let's see with Queen. Now I can go King. Now I've got that other Queen. Okay, now I've only got one King left to get. I've got an 8 and a 9 and 5 blank cards. So that's possibly continue onward. So this is 2016. In 2012. We had, just hold on with us. I know you've been on hold for a day and a half, but just hold on a little bit more. So, play another hand. So, in 2012, we had a lot of the Republican candidates for president. Basil had just come on the air for the first time in January 2012. Which, as it turned out, was we had planned the show, and we had it all set up. I was going into Comcast to record the entry song and the exit song, the inky dink, and the Wall Street one, the Wall Street song. And as it turned out, the night before I went into Comcast to record those two songs, Basil died. So Basil on the show has always been a two-dimensional avatar. Represent. Hold on. Somebody's been scratching the back of your head. Hold on. Hey, I understand you're very, very important and interesting, Chief Justice Roberts, but we'll come right back to you. But we gotta. Basil said no. He knows who's that behind him. He knows who it is. And he doesn't want him on his show anymore because we're getting into the endorsement season, and Basil has endorsed Bernie Sanders because he says that Bernie Sanders makes the most sense. He's got a plan to correct. So Bernie Sanders is basically very similar to the great Republican president back in the days when Republicans were the progressives. And the Democrats had the Dixiecrats. They had the racist wing of their party, which the Republican Party has now, led by this dude. He's their we hate everybody and blame everybody for everything except white American men. And so Teddy Roosevelt, who stands as both mine and Basil's one of our three top presidents of all time, and along with Dwight Eisenhower, because he just seemed like a nice guy. Played a lot of golf. Had a great resume, and third one being Abraham Lincoln. And of course, you've seen the movie. Hopefully, you've seen the movie Lincoln, so you know that how difficult it was to get a constitutional amendment passed, and the only way that they could end slavery was to actually pass a constitutional amendment. They had to codify Lincoln's Gettysburg Address and the Emancipation Proclamation, and they had to do a lot of cat scratching and a lot of horse trading with the Congress critters. And we're going to give a shout out to our friend Phil Specht in Iowa, Phil in Iowa as we know him, who coined the term Congress critters back in 2004, and. So Basil likes Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has all the qualities of someone that's willing to take the beliefs of President Obama and get more stuff accomplished. And he's got to break up the banks. He's got to bring back small business and rein in big business a little bit. And Basil said, said, I'm just going to add, no, your Paw Pilot is nowhere to be found. So you need me as your interpreter. Said, he's going to add another one to his screw list, and as his big screw is, as he calls it, is Screw Fox News. And we did that back in 2013, I believe, where we started Screw Fox News. Here comes Cat News, and that's been pretty popular. Basil's had some amazing discussions and guests on, and yeah, I know. This nut keeps popping in periodically, so we have to tuck him back behind there and keep promising him if he'll just scratch you a little longer, then maybe we'll give him another peek out from behind you. So at any rate, we've still got Chief Justice John Roberts on the phone, but we had back in 2012 when Chief Justice John Roberts became the deciding vote on the Affordable Care Act, what is more commonly called Obamacare, and in fact, Basil loves to point out that it has been an Affordable Care Act in the sense that, aside from the fact that it kept people on their parents' policies until the age of 26, unless they got their own insurance in the meanwhile through their employer, that it slowed the rate of increases in expenses, medical expenses, considerably, because ever since the HMOs came into play during the Nixon administration, medical expenses and as medicine and the administration of medicine became a for-profit institute with HMOs, medical prices have gone crazy. Doctors have been unhappy because they've got to have people in their office just to fight against the HMOs for allowance, for permission to do tests that are quite often very important to the well-being of a patient. And Since then, Basil's still doing a calculation, but he says it's into the hundreds of thousands and probably headed much higher for the number of people that they brought them up when the Affordable Care Act was being debated, death panels, and the claim that there would be death panels that would decide whether people lived or died according to getting well, they didn't say according to getting tests, but in fact HMOs have had their own death panels since they came into existence. Walter, you gonna come back up? Yeah, she's at the trough, scarfing down some food. Says she's got to get her energy back up, and besides, she already did 20 seconds overtime on her 40-second work week in Friday night show. And yeah, but doesn't Sunday start a new week? Said, depends what you mean by which Sunday. Okay, so we had on Cat News, we've had a number of great guests. Well, we started off before that doing during the primaries with we did the Republican candidates because, of course, President Obama was the sitting president and certainly the candidate for the Democratic Party. But we had who do we have? We had we started off Michelle Bachmann, had Ron Paul. We've got Rand Paul this time around, but we had his dad, Ron Paul. Back then, we had Rick Santorum. We had can you say Santorum on television? Yeah, I guess we can. We just did anyway. Newt Gingrich. We had we didn't have the pizza guy on. No, I'm not talking about the Papa John's pizza guy that threatened his employees that if they didn't vote Republican that they'd all be fired. We're talking about the founder of Little Caesars Pizza. And I've forgotten his name because we didn't have him on. So if we didn't have him on, then we didn't get to him because by that time he was tired of running for president. He couldn't remember 17 of the 50 states. Couldn't remember. He couldn't name one country in the Middle East other than who's Becky. Who the hell is Becky, Stan? But maybe his daughter's name was Becky. I don't know. So we had. This is what we did. We had all those a lot of the Republican presidential candidates on. We had Mitt Romney on. We had Mitt Romney on twice because he was at that point starting to run away with the thing, and Santorum was starting to fade, and I don't know whether said God didn't tell him to stop campaigning, but on his behalf, important to note on the behalf of Rick Santorum, he did step away from his campaign partly for a bit of time because his daughter, who has some serious physical difficulties, had a bout with those difficulties, and it was time for some serious family time, and he stepped away and took a lot of criticism for it. But no, parents, if your kid gets sick, step away from what you're doing, and see and take care of them. Take care of your kids. Take care of your grandparents. Take care of your great grandparents. Take care of your extended family. And Basil says he knows he hadn't seen his mother in since he was about 8 months old. Kristen ended up adopting him from one of the animal shelters, either Dawes or perhaps the one in Norwalk. And okay, so Snarky's telling me to what? I got to go talk to Snarky about something. We'll be right back. What? What is it? Oh, I got it there. Table. What about? Yeah, well, that was yours. Okay. You want that ringtone?
What? Yeah. Of course I have that ringtone. Oh yeah.
Okay. Is that the one from,
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Purdue.
Okay. Actually, it was Kristen that called me away. Producer Kristen Schoenfeld that had. So at any rate, so that's what we did back in 2012, and of course we've had many interesting guests since then. John Roberts, Cat. We're gonna have to look back at that episode from 2012 and figure out July 2012. Yeah, you notice the Nick Deer. The Nick Deer is because they, while we were taping the show, apparently John Roberts didn't know the cat escaped and found its way to our studio in order to talk about why John Roberts voted the way he did on the Affordable Care Act. And while we were on, are you still there? He said, yeah. Said, yeah, he's still there. Okay, he's a little drowsy from playing internet card games since Friday night. But he said the cat came on the show and Roberts was on a speaking tour in Europe, but caught it by satellite and called in and threatened his own cat, threatened to have him returned home in a gunny sack inside a cat carrier hung from the ceiling of a cargo plane. And no, that's not how the ear got nicked. Apparently when he got back home he was exhausted and he fell over and nicked his ear, and then that was a little bit so Roberts was upset because what was that? See, we don't remember the cat's name, but we remember the kid that was the neighborhood kid that was taking care of the cat. The neighborhood boy, Willie Culpepper, who was taking care of the cat. Basil said, "Ma," said, "Enough." Okay. So Lilith's still here. This is, of course, Basil's mate, the calico cat, who, when she passed away, and she's with Basil in the hereafter, but she left behind, the calico cat left behind the calico stone, and you see the striation in it, and nice long fluffy tail. Well, not fluffy, but nice long tail, and. And Oswald Cobblepot, this is our avatar for Oswald Cobblepot, because you saw him at the beginning of the... Oh, did you see him at the beginning of the show? Maybe not. So, at any rate, so that's what's going down with that. Oswald? You're not Oswald.
No.
A nice small cat, Kristen.
No.
Well, she had plenty of practice with Basil before they came into my life, and adopted me, and it's Walter, Monkey Cat, featherduster kitty. Because if you saw it Friday night, she's got some tail. And she does, apparently in 40 seconds she can do a week's worth of cleaning, because that's all she does is 40 seconds. Anything beyond that she wants overtime. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, look at that. A little more dusting. Good. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Basil said, said enough, look. My show, it's my show. Okay. So, Chief Justice Roberts is still there? It's still there. Okay. So, I don't know. Sorry I barfed on your bed. One more, Basil, one more of that. We read a couple of those Friday night. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Dear provider of turn-down service. This is from the book Sorry I Barfed on Your Bed and Other Heartwarming Letters from Kitty by Jeremy Greenberg, who obviously Ghost wrote it. But this one's from Daisy about how do you expect me to get through the day on only 12 hours of sleep? Dear provider of turn-down service, no, I'm not getting out of bed. I've accommodated your weird habit of sleeping only at night for far too long. Every kitty knows you should sleep during the day, so at night you can scare children by pawing open cabinets and making them think the house is haunted. Nighttime is for spazzing out and knocking vases off of tables. The only time I hear you spaz out at night is when you have another human sleep over. And what's with the only getting 8 hours of sleep? Don't you know the daily minimum is 16? No wonder your leg and armpits keep losing all their fur. Yes, I'd love to go out. Then I follow you into the bathroom to watch you shower, and suddenly all your fur is gone. You should be in bed sleeping 2/3 of your life away like me. And who is rude enough to call at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Don't they know it's nap time? Okay, and with that, this has been Basil BuddhaCat Presents. A blessed Sunday. We'll see you next Friday night. And remember, we've got the hour special on February 2nd. 7 p.m. on February 2nd and or 3rd. Okay. 7 p.m. on Wednesday, February 3rd, and 7 p.m. Friday. Maybe it's 8 o'clock on Wednesday. And on 7 o'clock on Friday, February 5th, we're going to be doing Progressive Soup will do one, Basil BuddhaCat Presents! Exclamation point. We'll do the other one. And we'll see you on the show once or twice before then. Have a blessed Sunday. Bye.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Meow.